Mosquitoes are small, annoying, and ubiquitous. Mosquitoes are unique insects. They inhabit the entire planet, with the exception of Antarctica. The life cycle of mosquitoes is quite long, especially the tenacious of the female of these insects. In the process of life, a mosquito goes through 4 stages: an egg, a larva, a pupa, an adult. The place of laying mosquito eggs can be any body of water or container filled with it. Just a few grams of water is all what female needs to lay her eggs. Mosquitoes find ponds based on air humidity. The female lays approximately 120-150 eggs at a time. After 2-8 days, larvae hatch from them. The larvae grow rapidly, feeding on small organisms living in the water, eating them from the surface of plants and various objects. Finding larvae in a pond is quite simple. At rest, they float like floats, just below the surface of the water. But if you disturb that piece of the water surface, the larvae, with characteristic zigzag movements, go into the depths. After a short time, the larva floats to the surface of the water again. The supply of air in its body requires constant replenishment. Being in the state of the larva, the mosquito sheds 4 times. After the false molt, the larva turns into a pupa. Its body is curved like a comma and consists of a wider cephalothorax and a tapering abdomen. The pupa swims well and, in case of danger, quickly hides underwater. Being at the depths, the pupa moves continuously, otherwise it floats to the surface like a cork. Within 2-4 days, complex processes occur inside the pupa, as a result of which an adult mosquito, ready for flight, is formed. The skin on the back of a mature pupa bursts, and through the gap that appears. First the head, then the chest of the mosquito, and finally the wings and limbs are released. After a few minutes, the adult flies into the coastal vegetation. The males always appear first. They gather to the breeding grounds and form swarms, waiting for females. Mating takes place in flight. The female simply flies into the swarm, and several males fertilize her at once. You have probably seen groups of mosquitoes circling around each other, for example in a village. Fortunately, such groups do not pay attention to a person, and they will not bite anyone, mainly because they are males, and males eat only nectar. But after mating, the female already needs to drink blood. She bites a person or an animal and drinks blood. When the blood begins to be digested, eggs ripen at the same time. After a while, the female lays eggs and the cycle repeats. Mosquitoes rely on their senses to select their prey. For them, the smell that comes from a person and worms are important. You can hear many semi-mythical stories that people with certain blood group attract mosquitoes. But in fact, everything is somewhat simpler. If a person is actively sweating, then it's easier for mosquitoes to find him. When people walk in a group, for example in the woods, or sit on the veranda, drinking tea. Then, after the mosquitoes have already found a group of people, they do not really choose who to bite and who not. It cannot be ruled out that they have preferences. But when people are in a group, their preferences are not so pronounced. Mosquitoes stick to a person who is actively sweating, but after him, they will definitely switch to those who are nearby. In addition, active blood circulation and metabolism of the victim is important. A person with a high metabolism produces more carbon dioxide, which is used by mosquitoes to detect it. Therefore, a mosquito is more likely to bite an adult than a child, a pregnant woman, people who are high body mass index, and people who are engaged in manual labor. Mosquitoes populated the planet long before humans. The oldest mosquito fossils date back to the Cretaceous period, about 200 million years ago. There are more than 3,500 species of mosquitoes around the world, but only about 200 bite humans. In fact, mosquitoes still exist because they are almost impossible to destroy without consequences. These insects are so small that they can fly between raindrops for an average of 5 minutes. Due to their low weight, mosquitoes are able to fearlessly walk on cobwebs without attracting the attention of spiders. The squeak that annoys us is the sound of the flapping of wings. There are also halters on the body of insect. They are responsible for balance during flight and help hover over a person's body before an attack. Insects perform them from 500 to 1000 strokes per second. And it is these vibrations that create an unbearable sound. Since the squeak of a mosquito annoys any person, and not only a person, some mosquitoes have learned to bite silently. At night, they land a meter or two from the sleeping person and walk to him. Thus, a person will hear a mosquito only after he has drunk enough blood and will already fly away. Mosquito saliva contains substances that relieve the bite and thin the victim's blood. They are the cause of severe itching after a bite. Mosquitoes are carriers of many dangerous diseases, including malaria, hepatitis, yellow fever, and encephalitis. It's also very easy to confuse a mosquito with other insects. Belling mosquitoes or midges seem to the inexperienced eye to be true mosquitoes. However, they do not bite and do not transmit disease. These insects, as a rule, gather in a swarm. They are very attracted to light. The main differences from the mosquito are shorter wings that do not extend beyond the body. They also lack of visible proboscis, but rather smooth-edged wings. Another insect is a long-legged mosquito, which people, and especially children, often think of as giant mosquitoes that can bite. In appearance, these insects really resemble mosquitoes on steroids, but they are completely harmless to humans. To distinguish a long-legged mosquito from an ordinary mosquito, you need to notice the following differences: very long and thin legs compared to body, Usually the proboscis is absent in most species, but even those with an elongated mouth apparatus cannot bite. Mosquito lanterns and lamps emit light that attracts gnats, beetles, moths, and etc. But because mosquitoes are attracted to us by carbon dioxide, not light, such devices are ineffective at killing them. Mosquito lanterns probably kill more beneficial insects and those readily eaten by songbirds. They also kill parasitic wasps that control many types of harmful insects. Mosquito saliva lubricates the proboscis in order to better slide over the skin and penetrate into its thickness. When the mosquito finds a good vessel under the skin, it also releases some of its saliva into the wound. Most people experience a skin reaction after being bitten by a mosquito. The pain from the bite and the resulting red bump are tolerable, but the constant itching just drives us crazy. The fact is that our immune system, during a mosquito bite, sends immunoglobulins to the affected area. These antibodies cause your mast cells to secrete histamines to fight off foreign matter. The histamine reaches the affected area, causing the blood vessels to swell there, and it's the action of the histamine that causes the lump. When the blood vessels dilate, the swelling irritates the nerves, which feels like itching. However, some people do not have this reaction to mosquito bites and even avoid mosquito bites because their sweat is repellent. In addition to natural body odors, mosquitoes are also attracted to the chemical odors of perfumes or colognes. Research shows that flower scents are especially attractive to mosquitoes. These pests are also attracted to skin care products containing alpha hydroxy acids, which are a form of lactic acid. As it turned out, mosquitoes are more dangerous than sharks or crocodiles. They kill up to 1 million people a year. More deaths are associated with mosquitoes than with any other animal on the planet. This is because mosquitoes can carry a wide variety of deadly diseases, including malaria, dengue, yellow fever, Zika, and encephalitis. Mosquitoes also carry heartworms, which can be fatal to our pets. That's all for today. Don't forget to rate this video, and I'm open for suggestions for the topic of the next video in the comments below. Have a nice day!